You look like an enchilada. Wow! Oh my God, so handsome.
Thanks.
I see no difference.
Yikes!
Are we starting 2 pods in a row talking about Rafa?
What are we talking about, Rafa?
John literally opened up the playing pod with Rafa's face is ugly.
Yeah, he did.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
And then
that.
you started this one with his hair.
We noticed that John's missing, so took care of that problem.
Hector.
Oh.
Hector,
Well, first of all, I was saying he looks good now. You know, I want to fix it, and then I give him a compliment. Really?
For the record, Rafa, you look great. I've always thought you look great.
Thank you.
Oh, I see what you're doing. We're lying.
Rafa, I don't lie. Rafa, I don't lie. He lies. I'm a good boy. I don't do nothing. All right. So I'm gonna play the song that John had put on the last podcast.
Yeah, we voted for that song, by the way.
What an interesting song.
I didn't vote. I didn't get a vote.
No, we voted.
I'm just gonna play it.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby.
It's a good song. I probably would have voted for it too. Hey.
Comic books, TV shows, and movies.
Bang,
Marvel,
bang,
DC.
bang, bam. Kapow.
We talk about comic books, TV shows, movies. Marvel, DC.
All right.
I mean, he got a group going.
Hey, welcome everybody to Panel Pals Podcast.
Hello.
I'm your host, Alex. I'm here with my co-host, Rafa, and my co-host, Hector. John is MIA. Allegedly, something happened to him. May or may not be Rafa related. I'm not no snitch, Rafa. I'm not going to say nothing.
Right.
I'm not going to sit here and bore the audience with the episode number just because I think that information is boring. All right, thank you. It's 12. I didn't know that.
I was like, he doesn't know, does he? He literally, I put it in the goddamn notes and he completely forgot.
Funniest thing about that is I looked over as I was doing that and then I saw it. But it was too late. I had already dug the
you're
hole.
right, exactly.
But Hector got me out. He gave me a shovel.
Gotcha.
But we have a great show for you guys today. We have quite a lot to top about. That's what we're gonna top about it.
Oh, we're gonna sloppy toppy it up, baby.
Today we're talking about Charlie Cox. Speaking of sloppy toppy, being confirmed as Daredevil once again. We're gonna talk about. We're gonna watch together the Spiderverse trailer 2 that came out, which is a first here on Panel Pals. We're also gonna talk about Sony and Tom Holland news, and we're gonna review episode 1 through 4 of Hawkeye.
Hefty.
So let's jump into it, boys. Let's go right into the Spider-Man trailer.
Wait, Rafa's gonna tell me to put it full screen. I already know.
Yeah, you have to.
There you go.
Oh my God. Wait, isn't this song like 3 years old?
Bro, I was gonna say he's been listening to this song nonstop.
Oh yeah. Granted, it is a good song.
It's an amazing song.
Miles, you got a minute?
Gwen, how have you been?
It's a long story. Is this the room you grew up in?
It is, but my dorm room is very adult.
Right. No, of course.
Hey,
Are these your drawings?
what? No,
Oh,
no.
good.
You're looking mighty thirsty in this
You
one.
too.
Right.
Okay. So, what are you doing here? I mean, I thought I'd
How old
never see you
is
again.
Miles Morales in this one?
Want to get out of here?
I don't know
He's
if
in
this
high
is
school.
time skip.
He looks older.
Grounded.
He does look older.
Well, he just said he has his dorm room.
But he had a dorm room in high school though.
Yeah, he did.
That's what I'm saying.
Spider-Man
That's what I'm saying. He's in
grounded?
high school.
But you could also have a dorm room in college.
But he's grounded.
He's in high school.
Yeah. I'm thinking like senior year.
I can see that.
Because he does look older.
Yeah.
And I think his hair got longer too. Does it look like it?
Can't wait.
So good. Across the Spiderverse. Part 1.
Yeah, that's just there. All right, then we're gonna edit again. We're gonna edit again. All right, we're back. See, the audience is none the wiser. That was seamless.
Wow.
They didn't even know. Hey man, that shit looks phenomenal.
It looks so dope.
It showed nothing and a lot at the same time, and I'm so excited for it. Oscar Isaac is reprising his role as the 2099 Spider-Man, is he? That was a question.
I think so. I would say so.
I fucking hope so, man. Yeah, that shit was great.
So dope. I mean, I'm super excited because like one, I feel like studios can do so much with animation that they can't do with like live action. So like it's gonna be so dope. And I mean, everybody loved the first one, right? So like this is only continuing our hype for it and being more excited for it. I don't remember if like Marvel has any hand in it. I think this is like a Sony.
No, this is all
thing.
Sony.
Yeah, it's all
which like
Sony exclusive.
Imagine if they did this type of shit with like actual Spider-Man when they had him. I'm glad that he's not, because now Marvel has him.
Right? Yeah.
It's weird because like Sony put shit out like Venom and Venom 2.
Relax.
And then I mean, come on.
Relax.
I mean,
it's different studios though. It's different people.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. It's kind of it's funny how like we under the same name we get stuff like that, and then we get stuff like this. Whereas like the first one, Into the Spider-Verse, was my favorite movie of that year. Yeah, that came out. That was an amazing movie, and just the animation was great. The storytelling was great. Like all around, it was just like a phenomenal movie. Mm-hmm. And it looks like this is. I mean, it's just one trailer, right? It's like a teaser trailer. We really don't know much about it yet. But it was teased in the first movie too. By the way, they did allude to this.
Yeah.
But like, it looks like it's still continuing on with the same animation. It looks like it's it's a continuation of course the first movie. So like, if it's you have high hopes for it. You think I hope it's going to be as good, if not better, than the first movie.
I like that it feels exactly like you still get the same feeling that you did from the first movie. The same. It's the feel. Just when you watch it, this definitely is where we would be at this point so far into the future. I'm just excited to see where this story goes, and the fact that it's called Part 1. We already know it's going to end on a cliffhanger, and B, the story's too big to contain to one movie. So, which is good. That means they're probably more than likely not going to rush through it to kind of fit it into the hour and a half to 2 hour mark that most animated movies run. So I like that they had the foresight. Hey, Part 1, the story's too big. Let's not rush it. Let's divide it into at least 2 parts. So I'm with it, man. Especially,
I think 3 parts would be a little too long. No,
you think so?
Like I just feel like because I mean like, well, depending on how big the story is. Like if it's like what if? Hear me out. What if this ties into the MCU? Like somehow, some way, they try to like loop it in because it's like another universe or whatever. Right. Like if that's the case and that's what they're trying to do, then 3 parts is fine, whatever. Yeah. Like build it up so a point it gets into like the rotation of the MCU. But
I don't think so. I don't think part of the MCU. I think it's its own thing, its own standalone thing. It's just Sony doing their own thing. But
the only way I can see it tying into the MCU would be in the what ifs section. Mm-hmm. Like if they had an episode like what if Miles Morales, like something like that. As far as like and then have that inherently tie into the big overall MCU, kind of like it's doing with the actual show. But as far as like seeing like an animated Miles Morales walking around next to like Thor in live action, that's kind of weird,
I don't think they can do that. No.
Yeah, because then it's just Ted, and I don't really want to see Ted again. You remember Ted?
Or Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, something like that. I'm not. No, that'd be kind of weird. But as far as this movie, Part 1, I am mega excited for it. There's a lot to live up to with that first movie. So it's because that first movie was damn near perfect. I hope that they can at least match it. I don't surpassing it is a really tough feat, but at least match it.
I wonder what other Spider-Man are they going to bring, you know?
Yeah.
Because
And if they're going to bring it back, too.
Right. So we got Miles Morales, we got Gwen Stacy,
2099 or whatever.
2099, Spider-Man, maybe the Punk Spider-Man. Who knows?
Oh, that'd be cool.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
Maybe him, or maybe Cosmic Spider-Man.
That'd be wild. Because Cosmic Spider-Man is like broken as shit,
right?
in the comics. What if they bring Future Foundation Spider-Man, which is when he joined the Fantastic Four?
Mm-hmm. That'd be cool.
That'd be cool.
If they had the balls, they would bring Superior Spider-Man in.
That'd be so
crazy. That would
be. They bring Superior Spider-Man. That'd be cool.
Because that storyline, fucking cool. Superior Spider-Man is. We're getting off a little topic here, but that's one of my favorite Spider-Man storylines ever. Like the
100%.
The concept of Superior Spider-Man is just ridiculous. For the listeners who don't know, Superior Spider-Man, I'll do this really quick, came at the end of the Amazing Spider-Man run, and what happened was Dr. Octavius effectively, without any spoilers, he became, his consciousness got put into Peter Parker's body, and Dr. Octavius became Spider-Man. And that right there should just be like, what the hell? The story's crazy. I definitely recommend checking that out. But I really would like to see some sort of adaptation on that. That'd be cool. But yeah.
Wouldn't it be crazy if they find a way to bring in the Spider-Man cartoon from the 90s?
Bro, that would be awesome.
They kind of did already though, right?
They brought that was like the 80s or 70s version with the point.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was like the first. That was an old.
Oh, you're talking about the Spider-Man and Friends, right? That one?
No.
There's one in between the ones you're talking about.
There's one that has like that style, like, okay, remember like the X-Men cartoon back in the 90s?
The 90s.
Oh.
It has that similar style to it.
Yeah.
It looks like that.
And it's it has the guitar riff for the intro, like that Spider-Man song. I'm not gonna torture you guys with me doing it with my mouth. Pause. But it has that kind of intro. But yeah, no, that would be awesome if they bring that in, because that's that's literally our childhood. It's also on Disney Plus if you're interested. But let's move on.
I saw it. It's cool.
Let's move on. Hold on. John said to press this button. Well, we're gonna do a topic switch, so I pressed it, John.
Ooh.
Wherever you're at in some closet somewhere. I don't know what happened to you. We'll talk about some quickie news here. Well, two quickie news.
I like quickies.
Yeah, I only do.
Do some punch sound effects there.
That's the only punch sound effect.
Nice.
I like that one. Like for like quickie news.
Quickie news.
There you go.
So
that's really good stuff right there.
Kevin Feige, our MCU god himself, has confirmed that Charlie Cox is coming back as the MCU's Daredevil. Yeah! Hey!
Yes, sir.
Charlie Cox, for those of you who aren't familiar with the name, he played Daredevil on the Netflix series that got canceled before this Disney Plus situation happened. So it's really great to see him back in the leather.
Yes, baby. Yeah, BDSM, baby.
It came out of my mouth. Now we're here. But I'm really happy for two reasons. One, I liked him as Daredevil. I like him as an actor, so that's good. Two, it gives me hope. Well, three reasons. Two, it gives me hopes that Johnny Bernthal can retain Punisher.
I was legit about to bring that up.
Yeah. Me too.
I was legit about to bring that up.
And three, and mainly three, it brings me hope that Kingpin can stay the same actor. And I'll talk more why on that in a little bit. But I hope that a lot of that comes back. Jessica Jones can stay the hell over there. Luke Cage, Iron Fist, replace all them. But even though I like Luke Cage, and
Luke Cage is pretty good.
Like Iron Fist wasn't that bad.
I'll say the casting wasn't the problem there. So if they want to bring back those roles, it's fine. Like I wouldn't have a problem with it. But I like that. I'm more curious to see whether the stories that happened in the Defenders and all that stuff is going to remain canon, or will this just kind of be like a hard wipe? That was a different multiverse. We're bringing them here. You know what I'm saying? Because they technically could do that. Like, Defenders was a different universe.
Yeah, I think they're just gonna hard reboot it, just with the same actor. Yeah. Like, hey, this is Daredevil, but the Netflix stuff, like, don't worry about it. Forget that.
Yeah.
Don't even that doesn't exist. Like, this is the new stuff here.
I wouldn't want them to like full wipe the Netflix stuff though. Like, I'd want to keep the Punisher stuff, especially like the Punisher. Daredevil was pretty cool. It was definitely the better of like the
Yeah,
It was the best.
It was a 4, right? Excluding Punisher, because Punisher was by far the best.
No, Daredevil was way better.
I liked Punisher was my favorite character, but Daredevil show was superior to Punisher. Overall.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yes.
Especially now, what threw Daredevil over was Punisher in season 2. Like that's what made it that's such a great show.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I would like for them. Yeah, I hope they don't reboot it because what happened there was super important, and if they keep it, it can actually tell better stories in the MCU. Because a lot happened in those, you know, and especially it'll be cool to see them dealing with, especially Punisher, dealing with what the fuck. There's multiverses now. Like I didn't have enough problems already, you know. Now I have to deal with.
So would you want them to? Would you want them to kind of like bring him in as in like, oh, this came from a different universe type thing? Or like, okay.
Like we haven't seen Spider-Man yet, but something along the lines of how they're bringing back those old villains. Something like that, where they kind of just dropped in when whatever happened at the end of Venom 2, you know, that little pop that brought Venom in.
Yeah.
Just like that. Bring him in just like that.
Yeah, so, because I was going to say, what happened or right now, what's something that we're going to talk about a little bit with Hawkeye, what he did, it affects big time these characters.
Yeah.
Without going into that, because we'll talk about that in a bit. Yeah. But, you know, so like I feel like that would have been weird. They're just like, oh, these guys just kind of been hanging around, you know. So like the only way it would work if they do that, what you're saying, where they get brought in from that universe, saying like, oh, they get venomed. I guess I could like.
But now, see, we're gonna talk about it in Hawkeye, but we'll talk about it in literally like 2 minutes.
Because like the counter to that is, we've been hearing like a lot of rumors of like, you know, what is his name? Charlie Cox's character, you know, Daredevil.
Yeah.
I forgot his actual name, like the
Matt Murdock
person. Matt Murdock. Yeah. Him appearing as like the lawyer for Spider-Man.
Yeah. So
it's like
that
if he's in that one, if he's in the movie, then that means he's canon and he's been around this entire time.
Yeah.
So then that wouldn't work where he just gets like, you know, dropped into the universe, because technically he had already been existing, but they just never talked about it in the MCU.
Well, I guess they don't have. Maybe they don't have to kind of pop him in like Venom. They could just be a different timeline, you know. The thing is, the Netflix shows originally were part of the MCU because it did reference the movies a lot. Yeah, but it was always weird to me. Like in Defenders, they blew up a building in New York and no one showed up, you know, like, come on, Iron Man didn't show up when he was alive.
But then again, it's like, didn't they do that in like the other MCU shows too? It's like, you know, like the
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and shit.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. They also did it in like even some of these like, you know, recent stuff, right? I'm trying to think of like, well, like WandaVision and things like that. Like no other like MCU characters appeared really, so it's like it can be kind of explained.
It's kind of it's kind of a problem that the Marvel has had from like the longest, where, you know, someone's standalone film, something crazy happens, and we're like, well, where's this person, or where's this other person? Why didn't they show up? It's kind of, we kind of have to like suspend our disbelief for kind of something like that. We kind of have to have a pass. It's not really fair.
They've been juggling that.
They're trying to figure it out. They are trying to figure it out.
I think they actually have a plan for it now, though. I think it's like, you know how they have to like re-sign every 2 years?
Yeah.
Now in the contract, it's be like, well, you have to appear in like 3 episodes of X TV show that we say.
Yeah.
Or like like in the contract, it's going to have them like appear in certain TV shows or certain projects that they have, like, you know, spin-offs or whatever. But like not like in every episode, or maybe they can, you know, whatever. Like they'll contract. That's gonna be in the contracts.
Right, but I'm not saying specifically for the contract, just under the story itself. Like like Alex was saying, like, you know, why didn't Iron Man show up when the building blew up in Defenders, right? Like that doesn't, he should have showed up. They're in New York, right? Or like, why not Spider-Man showing up? Whatever, right? Like under the story itself, it doesn't make sense. But again, you can't. It just doesn't work that way. Yeah, unfortunately. So you just, like I said, you just kind of have to just let it go almost. You can't really hold that against them.
And I mean,
it's kind of like a new starting point.
Good. And they have like the most ultimate like trump card of it. Hey, it's a multiverse. The timeline got all fucked up. We can now pop in characters in and out, and we don't have to explain shit. Because I mean, it'd be weird like when they inevitably bring the X-Men. These guys are all 20 plus 30 years old. like, and you had powers this whole time, where the hell were you guys during everything? You know, like now it's like, different universe. Now it works. So, yeah. One closing thought on Daredevil. I hope they give him a new suit because I wasn't a fan of his mask at all. But I hope he gets a new suit. But that's it. That minor. If they keep the same suit, I'm cool with that too. Whatever, But
was the Netflix shows, they were MCU produced, right?
I think they were.
Well, maybe not produced, but they had a hand in it.
Not like WandaVision, not like the shows we're getting now. So I think it was a Netflix studio that developed it. I don't quote me on that, but I know it wasn't like in-house like
we're
the
seeing
new
now,
shows now. Otherwise, it would have been like these shows, and those felt really different. But I'm gonna press the button again before John gets mad at me wherever he's at.
The trunk of a car,
baby. Hey, really quick news.
Nice.
Tom Holland is confirmed for 3, count 'em, 3 more Spider-Man movies in the MCU. Hey!
Yes.
That's it. That's pretty much the news there.
So
that means he doesn't die in the next movie. That's all.
That, but also like there was like articles and interviews going around saying that he was like, I'm kind of done being Spider-Man, and so it just kind of proves that it was just huge clickbait for people to watch the movie.
Yeah.
So
that article was more so he said that if I'm still playing Spider-Man in my 30s, which is 5 years from now,
then
he did something
done my career wrong or whatever. Yeah.
Which, I mean, my personal feelings aside, I would like for him to play Spider-Man forever. But I get it. It's different. It's different when you're acting and playing the character. As a fan, I just watch. But yeah, we at least got 3 more, so that gives us a good at least 5 years with him. On screen. Not I'm saying he's acting for the next 5 years, but yeah, that means he lives in the next movie. So there's that.
So then does that mean that it's going to be like 3 Spider-Man movies, or just him showing up as Spider-Man in other movies?
3 Spider-Man movies.
It's a new trilogy.
Okay.
A new trilogy of movies. Like these
Okay.
are the home,
that's cool.
like the home themed ones. Far From Home, No Way Home, whatever. Homecoming,
Home Alone,
Home Alone, all those. So I guess there's gonna be there's gonna be a new trilogy, with an overarching story, which is great because I like him as Spider-Man a lot. He really grew into that role. Because I saw Civil War recently, and then I saw Homecoming and Far From Home, like a couple days ago. He's a really, really great actor. Really, really great. It's unfortunate that the one where he was in fucking Spain. What was it?
Homecoming.
No, the second
Far From Home.
Far From Home.
Yeah, Far From Home.
It's unfortunate it came out so close to Endgame because I feel like that movie kind of got overshadowed by Endgame because I saw it.
Well,
again.
did it though? Because wasn't it supposed to be like the first movie after Endgame, so people were like super excited for it? Yeah,
it was. But for me personally, I was already so fatigued with everything that happened, and then Endgame was like it was such a Endgame level event. It was so crazy to go back to Spider-Man, and it was that no one else is there, and it's just him. From at the time, I was like,
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. It's kind of like Black Widow coming out. It's like, it's a good movie, but like that's not what I want at this point. But I saw it again recently, with everything. The hype is back for the MCU for me, and it was such a great fucking movie. I love that movie. It was really good. So again, all that to say that I'm still excited for No Way Home. I'm so fucking excited to see what happens.
I'm watching it in what is it in 9 days? I'm not watching it opening day, but I'm so excited.
I'm watching opening day. I might call off the whole
I can't wait.
Just to get ready for just to prepare myself.
I gotta mentally prepare myself.
Yeah. But let's talk about the biggie topic here. John, I pressed it. Don't hit me. Hawkeye.
Ooh.
Let's talk Hawkeye. So at this point in time, we're on episode 4 in the series. We're gonna talk about episode 1 through 4, kind of pseudo review it. And we're not gonna shove it down your throat this episode, guys. So guys, as in the audience, not you guys. Rafa, would you like to give a sort of a general where the story is?
Sure.
Remember, general.
I'm gonna go into every detail.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. Generally, you're the best at recapping, but just kind of.
Keep it in a nice pocket.
Yeah.
Kate was wearing blue shoes in scene 1. No, okay. So it opens up with Kate. I forgot her last name.
Bishop,
and it's showing the events of the first Avengers, right? Where Loki's attacking all the like alien dudes or whatever.
Yes.
Kate is in downtown in the area, like the big old fight scene. She's in one of their apartments. Her apartment gets attacked. I think her dad goes missing, right? Like, if I remember that correctly.
Well, he died. Yeah.
Oh, well, the dad died. There you go. I forgot about that. But anyways, like that, watching that event happen, she sees Hawkeye do his thing, shooting arrows, being all badass and shit. So she like gets inspired by him. From that point on, Kate growing up is like, hey, I have to learn how to defend myself. I got to be a badass. So she takes up archery, judo, gymnastics, like all these different type of like activities, right? And she's like a master at it. She's like really good at it. She's winning awards left and right and shit. She's like amazing at it. What happened?
I got my phone's like making noise. I'm trying not to catch it.
Oh, it's not even catching it.
Oh yeah, you're good. Them mics are top.
Yeah, they're not even catching it. So then it cuts to her being in college, and she's being a college student, fucking around with a bow and arrow with her friends. She ends up blowing up not blowing up, but destroying this clock tower with a clock/bell tower. Excuse me. And it's Christmas time. She goes home. Her mom's like, "Hey, bro, why the hell did you blow up that building? I gotta pay for it." But they have money, like they're rich apparently.
Oh, mega rich.
Oh yeah.
So it doesn't really matter. Her mom is getting remarried to some guy. I forgot his name, but he has an accent.
Oh,
he says,
"Fuck, what's his name?"
He says things wrong all the time.
Oh, yeah, Mustachio. What's his name?
The mustache guy.
Yeah.
Anyways, Kate's not happy about it. She's like, bro, I don't like this shit. The dad of the guy is not happy about it either, right? He ends up dead. Well, before that, there's like a secret auction going on, and
Rafa, you're retelling.
Yeah, what? No, this part's important though. This part's important.
Beyonce's dad is Jack Duquesne.
Thank you.
There you go, Jack.
This part's important.
Right,
In the auction, they're auctioning off Hawkeye's Ronin stuff.
Yeah.
The suit and the sword, right?
Along with like a bunch of other Avenger stuff.
Yeah.
Like a bunch of Avenger stuff, right? Some bad dudes show up to try to rob him, whatever. Kate ends up using the Ronin outfit to fight and escape and shit like that. So like people think Ronin's back because of that, right? But it's just Kate using the outfit. Hawkeye sees this happening on the news, right? And he's like, okay, I have to stop this. I can't let this go on because like the whole Ronin character, whatever, it comes. There's a lot of baggage with that suit, with that sword. I got to stop this shit. So he goes off, tries to get the suit back from Kate. But Kate is being hunted by the mafia guys.
The tracksuit mafia.
The tracksuit mafia, like bro. Yeah. They're hilarious. I love them. And then there's the main bad. Well, I guess the main bad guy is the girl who can't hear, right?
Yeah, Maya,
right? Maya has a personal vendetta against Ronin because Ronin killed like her family or whatever.
General.
So, that's it. Like legit, I'm legit about to finish it.
Okay.
Yeah. So then, so pretty much, Clint Hawkeye is out here in Christmas time trying to save Kate, trying to fix the mess that Kate made.
Yeah.
And trying to get home in time for Christmas and not get himself or her killed.
Yeah. Hey.
Keep in mind though, the mess that she put herself in is actually a lot bigger than even she thought it was. Like,
it starts like, oh, look at this small mess I made, and it's like a rabbit hole. It just keeps getting deeper and deeper.
You're like, oh, you discovered something that should probably have been discovered a long time ago. Sick.
Right.
Yeah.
So thoughts, opinions, all that good stuff.
So I watched with like my two siblings, and they're pretty into the MCU like I am, and they loved WandaVision, they loved the other shows, they love Loki.
Yeah.
They kind of agreed with me. Where like the first two episodes were like starting really slow. Like it just felt like just a generic like a Christmas show, and like in my head I'm like, oh, this is definitely gonna build up. Like it has to be important.
Yeah.
There's no way they're just gonna throw in like a happy-go-lucky, I don't know, just dumb show that's kind of pointless. And then this last episode, the most recent one, episode 4, like, okay, yeah, now it's starting to get good. Like, I think this last episode was one where it's like, all right, cool, we're locked in. Like, we were just kind of like, we kind of gave it like the anime 3-episode rule. Where like, what do we think about this? 4th episode came around and we're just like, all right, cool. Like, we're totally in for it. Especially to kind of get into a little bit of spoilers for episode 4, but seeing the sister of Black Widow of Natasha Romanoff, I forgot her name, but just the fact that she got contracted allegedly to kill Clint. But even though we saw at the end of Black Widow where she got invited into the Thunderbolts, which is the team that is led by Thunderbolt Ross, and I think I remember at the end of the movie they showed a picture of who killed, or the lady showed a picture of who killed Natasha, and it ended up being Clint. So it's like they're already tying in the Black Widow movie, and they're showing that she has misinformation, or she's been misinformed about who actually killed Natasha and things like that. So like we're starting to see a lot of the MCU stuff finally like pay out in the shows. Like it's already been there, but this one is probably the biggest out of all the shows where it's like, oh shit, like that's literally a direct link from the movie and being shown in the show. And yeah, what else? Oh, also the Maya, just the fight scenes and everything, the Ronin stuff. It's cool. Yeah. Like I'm all for it.
Well, I mean, like yeah, that the Black Widow thing is a direct link, but even a bigger link is just Hawkeye himself. You see, he's battle torn. You see, he's all fucked up.
Yeah.
He can't hear out of one ear. He's old as shit. He has to ice his joints after like the fight. So like, it's one thing that like we always brought up before is like, oh, we got Thor, who's a god. We have Captain America, who's like a superhuman, and then we have
Hawkeye and Black Widow.
Hawkeye and Black Widow, like what can they do? Whatever, and then we actually see the effects of all these adventures, all these like missions,
battles and stuff. Yeah,
and then like dude's hurt. He looks tired as shit all the time. Like he is worn the fuck out.
I love that. I love this show for 2 reasons. I'm really enjoying it, even from the beginning. I do agree with you. The first 2 episodes were like, oh no. But as it continued, I fell in love with it. It's such a great show. Kate Bishop, that actress, I don't know her name.
She's great.
She's Haley Steinfeld.
Yeah, Haley Steinfeld. Yeah, she's amazing. I love her. I became an instant fan just because of the show. The Pizza Dog. I'm a big fan of the Pizza Dog.
Pizza Dog.
Facts.
But the show itself, I like it because just in the same vein that Winter Soldier kind of showed, Captain America and the Winter Soldier kind of showed a different side to everything that happens. This is also showing a completely different side. Like Rafa said, we're seeing the repercussions of a human person dealing with Avenger level threats. He's deaf.
Right.
He can't see all this good stuff Rafa said. And we're also seeing it tie into it. It's the theme is very much repercussions. It's consequences and this stemmed way before Kate Bishop. It stemmed from the blip when that happened, and Hawkeye, how he dealt with his grief. He became Ronin. Those repercussions, those consequences have finally caught up to him. We're finally getting the closure for Natasha, for Black Widow dying. We're seeing people grieve her. We're seeing Clint dealing with losing one of the closest people to her. Like, the show is arguably the most human show that the MCU has put out, because while I called it Captain America, but Falcon and Winter Soldier was really close in showing the human element. These guys were still flying and doing some crazy ass shit. This is literally a dude with a bow and arrow, and they don't shy away from it. They lean into it. They show just the whole LARPing scene that happened in, I think, episode 2.
That was funny.
No, it's such a great scene.
It just shows how he has the shit that he has to go through to get to where, because in the Avengers and stuff like that, we never see what he does to get to the final outcome. We just see kind of him figuring out the last thing. He's already killing people with the arrows. We never see the planning stages. We never see all that stuff from his perspective. So I like that it's just shining a light on the humanity of it, and just the whole, hey man, this dude is fucked up, and he just wants to go home to his family, and he but his responsibility as an Avenger, and he's an all around good guy. He just cares about people. He doesn't want this girl to get hurt because of something he did. I love it. I love it so much.
One thing I will say I disagree with the show is how he doesn't happily accept the free stuff he gets. I would have been like, hey, yo, I saved in New York. Give me everything.
He's not that type of character.
Yeah, that's not him.
I know, but still, it's just like, it's funny that like it's not that he doesn't appreciate it or doesn't accept it, but it's just like, dude, I'm just doing my job, bro. Like,
he's a
you don't gotta give me free stuff.
dude. Like, that's the thing about him.
Yeah, he's a normal guy.
He's like Paul Rudd in real life. Like that's Hawkeye. He's just some low key dude. Like he doesn't really want to do anything flashy. You know, he's just chilling. I like it. I like it a lot. Echo. Yeah. I'm sorry, not Echo. She's not Echo yet. But Maya, she grew on me. I didn't like her at first.
I don't like her still.
Yeah, I at first, but because I kind of looked into the character and I know where it's going, and they did announce an Echo show. I'm sorry if that spoils anything, but there is an Echo show announced. I'm with it. Her character grew on me. The actress grew on me, and she's actually really deaf. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Oh, really?
Also, that's sick.
Yeah. So when I found out all that, I was like, okay, I'm with it. I like it.
Well, I like the character. I mean, like her backstory is like, yeah, I would be mad too if I was her.
Yeah, and that's why I like her, because she's relatable. Like if Hawkeye or Ronan killed my dad, you know, I had the powers that, you know, whatever the abilities she had, I would also be hunting this dude down. I'm sorry.
Well, she doesn't have any powers. She just trained. That's it. Like
that's what I meant like the ability
still,
to,
yeah.
But
I would have been the same way. I'm like, yo, you killed my dad. Like I'm gonna kill you now. Yep. Like that's just how it is.
Well, yeah, even though he was bad, but like he didn't show any of the bad sides to her when she was growing up. So like,
exactly.
I get it.
That's still your dad. That's still your dad. You know.
Yeah, it's your dad.
But so I'm glad that we're talking about her, because this tied into the whole Daredevil thing that I was talking about earlier. Now in the comics, in the story, Maya's character is directly under Fisk, William Fisk, who's the Kingpin.
The Kingpin, yep.
They even in the show they mentioned this uncle character, this uncle. Oh, you know, and apparently the uncle in the show is the big boss. The big guy. The big guy, literally the big guy, because they showed him for like a second, and he was a heavy set dude, and the voice sounded very, very, very similar to the actor from Daredevil show. Yeah. So with them, the Marvel smart, with them coming out and saying, hey, Charlie Cox, Daredevil, is back in the MCU, same actor, that gives me hope that that is Kingpin. Well, it's Kingpin. Two dots. It's Kingpin, yeah, but more so the actor in the same MCU, and I mean the same Netflix Kingpin, and that gives me hope that it's gonna stay canon, everything that Kingpin went through, because that Kingpin, I love what they did with it in the Netflix show. I thought he was great. It was such a great character arc. It was such a great, like, it wasn't just this fat ass dude with money who's just power hungry. Like, there was reasons behind it. You saw why he became the way he was, and he was, again, a human Kingpin, and you related to him to a degree. I mean, he was a murdering psychopath, but you related to his struggle to a degree, and just, you know, what he went through with his girlfriend, or it was a girlfriend, right? It wasn't the wife.
Yeah.
The girlfriend in the show, in the show, like, I hope they bring all that in here and find a way to tie it in. But yeah, I like the show. I'm looking forward to it. We have 2 episodes left. I think it's only
really?
Yeah, it's only 6 episodes or some light like that from what I was reading.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, let me verify. I think by Christmas it's gonna be over. I think that was the whole plan. But let me see. Hawkeye episodes.
Well, I mean, I like the show. Unlike Hector, I was hooked on episode 1. I like what they were doing from the start. You know, like the show. It's funny when it wants to be, but also it gets serious when it needs to be serious. Like that's a really nice balance of what they're doing here. Like, this is, as of right now, this is my favorite Marvel show.
Yeah, 6 episodes total. Wow, favorite.
I'm really enjoying this.
That's high praise.
I'm right there with him.
More than WandaVision.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just WandaVision was doing some really cool shit. Same thing with Loki, like some really out there cool shit. But like the story they're telling here is just so, like Alex said, it's so relatable. Like you just feel for Hawkeye. Like, yeah, he's an Avenger, but like he's like he said, just a guy with a bow and arrow, and he's like going through so much bullshit. Like,
and he's just charming. He's like the show itself is so fucking charming, and Kate Bishop brings in this whole like other aspect. Like, she's such a kid, like she's a young adult, and it's like, of course she's acting that, like she's fanning out at some points, and she's still handling her own, like just that aspect to it, that whole like paternal figure, young protege aspect that they have going on. You know,
it works so well.
I just don't like her immaturity. I know that's like the whole thing. Like she's gonna, you know, grow and her maturity is gonna get better. The later the episodes go, or hopefully by the end of the
I don't think so.
2 episodes. I'm kind of mad about her character. Like I get her importance and like technically this whole show is to build up the fact that she's gonna be the next Hawkeye.
Yeah.
But I mean, now that I know there's only 2 episodes left, I don't know, man. I don't know about her character. I just don't like the fact that she's too immature.
So you got to think
that's
about
what I like about it.
Yeah, don't think about it in terms of 2 episodes left, because I mean, each episode is like 45 minutes to an hour, depending. That's a 2-hour. That's a movie. You have a whole 2-hour movie left of show. Like, a lot can happen.
I just want her to be a little bit more mature. That's my thing. Is like, because there are instances where her immaturity just, I'm just like, bro, like what? Like especially, you remember the scene where she like walks up, literally in the last episode where she's like, well, you know that I'm just gonna get distracted up there. It's like what? Like he's trying to save your life now. Like what do you mean?
You're feeling exactly what Hawkeye's feeling, so you're relating to the show, because Hawkeye said the same shit. Like he even said he's like, I hate the fact that you're
using your immaturity as an excuse or whatever.
Yeah, whatever. He said gets your way, and she knows. She's well aware of it.
Right.
But yeah, hopefully you end up liking her because she's great.
I mean, no, like I like her acting. I like the actress herself and all that stuff. Like I've seen other stuff that she's been a part of, but like I don't know. I just don't like the character Kate Bishop too much. But I get her importance and I understand it. So yeah.
Sound like a hater, bro.
Yeah, I sound like a hater. I'm kidding.
You literally hate on everything.
No, I don't. What are you talking about?
Alex can attest. Anytime somebody says they like something and he doesn't like it, he's like, "That shit, you're bad."
That's you.
No, that's you. And you do this.
Yeah.
I do that though.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Panel Pals. Any closing thoughts, you guys, on anything we talked about?
Yeah, watch Hawkeye.
Nice.
Yeah, watch Hawkeye.
Yeah, check it out. And be excited for Spider-Man, baby. I fucking can't wait.
Man. Next Panel Pals podcast is not going to be about Spider-Man.
Yes, it is.
In 2 episodes.
No, it's next episode. Ooh. Yeah, no, next episode, because it comes out Thursday.
And I watch it Saturday.
Yeah, we'll record it late. We'll record it Sunday.
Oh, okay.
And we'll just put it out. We'll put it out
Monday.
early. Yeah, we'll put it out early. We'll figure that out. Don't worry about it. You'll see on YouTube. But thank you so much for listening. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't. If you want some anime goodness, make sure to check out the Bento Boxcast. That comes out Mondays out on Geek Jar Podcast. If you want some video game goodness, make sure to come to the channel on Wednesdays, because we got the Playing Pod. We talk about all the gaming news. And of course, if you want some comic book, MCU, DCU goodness, you're in the right place right here on Panel Pals every Friday. Asterix with Spider-Man, maybe Monday. We'll see what happens there. Subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Share it. And we'll see you guys on the next podcast, whenever that may be, which is Monday for Bento. Bye.
Yes,
Bye.
Sir.